I'm doing a multi-message. Can you handle it? Okay, so in this multi-message, I have different things that I'm going to be sharing and talking about today. I'm going to channel 2 different people. I had a request to channel Keemstar the Gnome. I don't know if that's a joke, like keister, like butt, the gnome, or just Keemstar, like it's got some kind of elegance to it. It's like stars and galaxies and stuff. It's Keemstar the Gnome. But I'm going to channel Keemstar the Gnome. I'm going to channel Ra, the sun god. I want to do some healing for everybody who's watching today. I don't know if that's going to come through Keemstar the Gnome or Ra, the sun god, but let's just see what comes up, okay? We're all open-minded people here, and we're all beautiful people with beautiful hearts, and so we all have that love and light to share. Does that sound like cheesy, or does that sound good? Okay, I also had a question. It came up on my chakra balancing video that I just recently shared. So I'm going to read the question. That's how we're going to start today. You guys, do you know the answer to the question? You should share in the comments what you think. Okay, so I'll read the question, see what Spirit has to say about it, share some of my own experiences with it, and then do a little channeling, a little healing for everybody. And then I guess that's what I'm going to do for this video, okay? And you should subscribe to my channel because there's lots more videos coming. I'm going to be doing a better job of reading comments. That's something that I want to do, is be more engaged in what you guys are wanting to experience, some of the questions that you have, and trying to do more, okay? I'm always trying to do more. I have 2 other YouTube channels, Abbey Psychic Services and Zodiac Energy Reading, so you should check those out too if you didn't know that. I'm also on Patreon. I'm doing 2 live streams this month. So if you join Patreon, no matter what tier, you'll get to participate in a live stream where we actually talk about anything, and then I just share wisdom and healing for everybody who's able to participate. So those are options, right? Options for those who are looking to connect or experience enlightenment and healing. Whatever you're looking for, I guarantee I've got something accessible. Okay, swear to God, I'm done talking. At least about that stuff. Okay, so this is the question. Are you guys ready for this question? It says, hi, what do you think about soul contracts? Do we really have something like this? And can we end them if we feel we cannot resolve our issues in this lifetime? So what do you think about soul contracts? This concept, okay? Do we really have something like this? And can we end the soul contract if we feel we cannot resolve our issues in this lifetime? I'm just going to pause for a moment, okay? Because I'm actually feeling inside my heart the meaning of the questions and what is the best way to provide a response to that. I'm surprised that I feel kind of a heaviness about the question. When I first read it, I thought, this is a really good one. A lot of people want to know more about soul contracts, and this does come up when I do energy work for people, where it really feels like there's a connection here and you both have something to work through or work on. So when that connection is felt, it feels like we have a contract or a responsibility or a connection, a link there that we came into this life to actually work on those lessons with those souls or that soul. And they could even be experiences where we are just kind of a singular person and we're experiencing connections with the spirit realm or alien beings. They could be difficult lessons, learning about love and patience and understanding about being human or being beyond human. How to work through that. So it's not just about human to human relationships. It can be human to alien being, human to angel, human to spirit realm. It could be even human to earth, So imagine the soul contract between our collective consciousness and Mother Earth. What do you think about that? Is it just an individual thing, or is it a collective thing? So if we are collectively choosing to be here to support the evolution of this species, the human race, and the evolution of planet Earth, right? How are we going to say, I'm done here with Earth, I'm gonna go now, see ya? Is it really work like that? Can you say, I'm ready, I'm done, this is my last life here, I'm done? Can you consciously state that, and then for that to be the follow through that happens once you get to the other side? The thing about the other side is we can't conceive of it in our human mind, because it is so much more than what we think, okay? A lot of us are saying, I'm done with this, because we're exhausted. We can't physically, emotionally, and mentally process these lessons anymore. There's so much energy, generations and time and collective energies that are kind of still I guess you could say, I mean, it feels like tuned into the earth planes, the earth energy, even inside of the planet. We're collectively feeling a lot more than we're consciously aware of, and we're bogged down by it. Oftentimes we're here even just to hold the light, not just to be an inspiration to other souls, to encourage other souls to not give up, to keep going. We're always learning, okay? And Earth is hard. Earth is really, 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 really hard, okay? So we're all gonna want it to stop. We're all gonna want it to go away. And that's only natural, because when the pain is so intense, you want it to stop, or you want to die, or you want some way out, you know? But the soul is different. The soul understands the bigger picture. The soul understands the infinite. Soul understands love. On a level that we're trying to conceive of it, we're trying to work with it, we're trying to be in the flow of it, but we can oftentimes resist. We don't even know all the ways that we are resisting what could be abundance, what could be a beautiful life. But we are too hard on ourselves, or we're not letting people in, or we're saying things that aren't necessarily the truth, but we believe they're the truth, and now they're the affirmations that are molding and shaping a difficult life experience. So you always have the opportunity to live an abundant, beautiful life. That could also be part of the reason you're here, is to let go of resistance to love and not even realize it. So is that a soul contract? How many different and intricate ways could we take a look at a life and say that I came here to work on this, a million things. It's not just about the people, the individuals, the interdimensional beings. It's not always just about this life. It could be a much bigger picture than right now, okay? You don't know all the ways that you're actually, by just simply being here, helping Mother Earth. By just simply being here, helping somebody in another country, on the other side of the planet, or in another star system, really far away, that you know nothing about. You have no idea how, all the different ways that your presence is impacting the whole universe. So there could be stuff on what could be a list of goals, okay, that you would never even consciously know about. So I'm going to pause for a minute. One thing that I recommend everybody do when it comes to soul contracts, and when it comes to when life gets hard, you're always in the right place at the right time, okay? And you're always, when you just can't do it anymore, you really can, okay? I know I've hit the wall many, 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 many times, and I ask myself, why do I have to keep living with all this annoying stuff that I have to go through, and I have to be patient with, and I have to get up every day, and some days I don't want to, right? But it's okay, all right? Because I know there's so much more to this life than the way it feels, than the way it looks, than the way that I'm told that things are by the media or whatever, okay? So I have to trust that I'm in the right place at the right time, and there's a grander purpose for me than I can understand. Brings me back to the angel with the black wings in the part one. I was talking about the grasshopper that I saw that got run over by a bike. And its purpose while it's sunning there was that day it was meant to die, I guess. And what is the meaning of this grasshopper in the infinite universe? It's like one of millions of the same grasshopper. And I kind of feel like that sometimes. What is my meaning in all of this? I'm just one of millions of grasshoppers, sunning, and then one day it'll eventually happen, right? But I have a purpose, just like that grasshopper. So I've done other messages on soul contracts. I'll see if I can find some and put them in the description with links. I know I did one with Cryon. I think I did one with Archangel Lucifer too, just to create some diverse viewpoints on the subject. I think the one I did with Archangel Lucifer, I may not have shared it because it seemed like really intense, or I may have redone it because I didn't want to overwhelm people. Sometimes the message just blasts out, Anyway, I think that one was about being attached to a soul contract, or being attached to what you think you're supposed to be doing here. Sometimes you just gotta live your life and roll with it. It's as human beings, we want to understand ourselves in this world. We want to understand our purpose, and that's part of our journey. You know what I mean? To think, to question, to wonder. I don't know. It's kind of coming into my mind like this, but that may not even be it either. Anyway, so I wanted to acknowledge this awesome question. What do you guys think? Share my thoughts on it. And I'm actually going to relax now, and let's visit with Keemstar the Gnome. What do you think he's going to be like? Is he Keemstar? Or is he Keemstar? Maybe he's one of Harry the Gnome's friends. All right, Keemstar the Gnome, and then Ra the Sun God, and any type of energy work and healing I can share with all of you. I'm going to be doing that. Okay, all right, here we go. Multi-message away. Keemstar the Gnome. He's really, oh man. There's a seriousness right now that I feel, and a lot of energy above my head. It's like a line of light, okay? And it's above my head. It goes through my crown chakra, my third eye. It comes straight down my face, goes through my throat, my heart. It's just going down. Seems to be really connected to upper chakras, like the heart up. And it's just a beam of light that goes straight down. All right, he has a very serious message. And he shows me a human being, and the human being is basically a statue, and it's almost like it was whole at one time. So the statue stood tall and proud and strong, right? Something came along and it broke the statue into pieces, okay? And the statue is still the pieces are still kind of connected to the statue, so it still presents itself, but it's all broken in many places. I see this statue as kind of a dignified, older gentleman. It looks like maybe a professor in a university that maybe got a Nobel Peace Prize and they made a statue out of him. He's got a noticeable beard. He has small glasses. He has kind of curly short hair. He feels like he's kind of emanating from maybe earlier 1900s. And Keemstar is asking us if we know where strength comes from. He shows me the statue is looking in a direction. and it's looking in a direction of strength, like it sees true north. But obviously a statue can't move. It doesn't have legs that it can walk in a direction. It has to stand still and present itself with its own sort of strong, structured stance, shoulders back, head high, eyes straight ahead. There's many layers to what he's showing me about a human being, about a statue, about how to move forward or how to stand tall and proud. Sometimes we present ourselves as put together when really we're in pieces. And statues have no hearts, they don't have emotions. So sometimes we stand with pride or ego, but we aren't really tuning into how we really feel, or how sometimes we're even holding on to a decision that we made, and we realize in time that that decision wasn't perhaps for the best interest of everybody. It was really just the best interest of ourselves, so that we could get a prize, when really the idea came from someone else. But now we represent history, or we represent time as the one who found it, the one who discovered it. He's really talking about pride and ego. He's really talking about a human being who has a strong presentation, but actually has a weakness on the inside and can't go back in time to acknowledge their choice, and now has to live with their choice, and that they represent what could potentially be overshadowing. Basically, it would represent a lie. You didn't earn it. You didn't earn that Nobel Peace Prize. Somebody else really deserved it. One thing that Keemstar is sensitive about is honesty. Is true strength is in honesty, not in how dignified you can stand and how clever that you can present yourself to be. And it's he also shows me how hard it is to live with yourself when you start to have an epiphany or an awareness of what the choices that you actually made. You have to live with yourself in time. He really is frustrated because he sees that we aren't given the truth. We aren't, and a lot of the truth is misunderstood, or it was taken by somebody who stole the truth from somebody who had deserved it in history more than that person. But we will always sort of worship or acknowledge that person as the one, when really they were a thief or a liar. And he says that the lessons don't end when you die. Your soul has to live with that choice even in the afterlife, where now you get to look down at all the people who acknowledge you and respect you as the one, but you now, how will you respect yourself knowing that you stole the idea or you took it away from somebody else? He says the lessons don't stop after you die. You don't just go to heaven and everything's hunky-dory. You have to live with yourself. You have to face yourself. He's really encouraging us to really kind of scrub the deck here of our lives and our decision making, to really ask ourselves if we have been the most honest person, and if there's anything that we feel that degrades our self-respect, to have the strength to state that in your life, in this life. It's really important that you really take a look at this life, and it's kind of like make amendments to yourself or your choices, because it doesn't end when you die. You have to live with yourself and your choices, because you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and find a way to love yourself when you're presented with the truth. The truth on such a loud and raw level that you would want to deflect it back so bad, and you won't be able to hide from it. He wants to talk again about what is true strength in a human being is an honest human being. And he shows me even that honest human beings can fall apart at the seams and somehow try to keep holding themselves together as they face the true north and the sun that is upon them. And he says, don't give up. For those people who are honest people, keep standing strong and do not give up. And he's very serious that the gnomes are here. He's very serious that the gnomes are here to help us. And I'm a bit surprised because I like happiness and jokes. So when things get serious, it's like, but you're an adorable little gnome named Keemstar. What? Like Harry the gnome because he's hairy. But this is an important message. What do you guys think about this? All right, shall we see what Ra the Sun God has to say? I'm just thanking Keemstar, and just giving him a big hug. And I tell him that I really value this. Raw honesty, seriousness, and the encouragement for us to embrace being the most honest people we can be, no matter how that might challenge us, might kind of break us apart, where we're trying to hold ourselves together. But you still have to stand firm and strong, like a very strong, proud statue, in the fact that you chose to be honest in this life, as honest as you knew how to be. And there's blessings for that. There's absolute blessings for that. Okay, Ra. I'm kind of entering into a space that's ultra clean, and there's people wearing long white coats that are very fashionable and sleek looking. They look like representations of spiritual people that are kind of modern, kind of vogue, kind of specific, that they do their yoga at this time and they eat their vegan foods. And if you are not to this level that they have aspired to through ego, then you are not as spiritual as they are. As we listen to beautiful bell tones and the sound of like glasses, like crystal glasses that have water, and then the sound of like water on the rim of glasses. Again, another message about pride and ego and true honesty and how to live the path of an honest person. You can live in your mind, in your ego, that you have perfected the nature of being truly spiritual as you turn your nose up to other people and the way that they're doing things differently. That might not be so fine-tuned. Sometimes I find in the spiritual community, those people that eat the vegan foods and work out regularly and do the constant yoga, that a lot of us it's just not like programmed into us. But we have the heart and the caring and the time to be compassionate and good listeners. That's freaking spiritual too, okay? But there are different kind of factions of what is a great representation of a spiritual person through following through with actions, right? But not actually going to the depth of the soul. So you can be human about it and represent the ego concept of a spiritual person, or you could be just raw. Oh, raw, like RAW, like totally raw about just being yourself and being vulnerable and being honest about your insecurities or the things you're struggling with, addictions or, whatever it might be. I love the raw human person. So we have Ra as R-A-W, but we have Ra as an R-A, you know? Ra, the sun god. Hurrah. Hurrah for Ra. And hurrah for Ra people, okay? So we're kind of, Ra's illuminating us on this, okay? He wants to know what you think about that. He literally is just paused. Like, what do you think about that? And he wants to talk about what it is to speak from the heart and what it is to represent an idea, and where we could be really attracted to an image of somebody. And it kind of takes us into a shallow persona of wanting to be that, but it not really being a good representation. There's so much energy shifting going on here as I'm talking. It's almost like this massive energy that's just pushing through the backside of my heart and pushing through my heart and pushing out of my heart. It makes me emotional. It makes me angry. The anger is really coming from being judged myself, not being understood, struggling sometimes to find the right words, and even being emotional, and maybe it doesn't come out right. Just being a human being, you know? But feeling like the more raw of a human that you are, you could face so much more judgment and persecution. But if you were to look the part, you would be absolutely accepted and valued. I feel like that exists in the spirit, this new age spiritual movement where people are seeking enlightenment, people are seeking answers. You have to seek the heart of the message. Roz, gosh, she's like really, there's a lot of energy shifting going on here, having to do with the heart and even the mind, like the back of my head, the back of my throat, my higher mind. And he shows me pictures of turning things inside out, okay? Everything going in reverse. And he's reminding me of the conversation that I had with Harry the Gnome after I did that journey, because I really felt like he was showing me that the gnomes were kind of being imprisoned and that we weren't going to have access to them, like the world is changing, but really he was showing me things in reverse. He was using something that would be of concern to me. He was using kind of a technique to guide me into a message to help me see myself. And somehow seeing things in reverse was the way that he had to approach it. I've been noticing this coming a lot, even just in my own personal time. Like I'll talk to the spirit realm, I talk to deceased loved ones, people that are a part of my family, and I get their perspective on things. And I find sometimes they're showing me a message in reverse. Where I think that it's them, but really it's something I need to be aware of for myself. And so it seems like things are turning inside out. Even what Keemstar was talking about with that Nobel Peace Prize and the statue, where the false has to eventually become the truth. Like the truth has to come out of the woodwork. And we need to believe in that. We need to choose to state that to the universe, because he's even, I am trying really hard here. There's so much energy, so much flow. There's so much conversation. Feel like I'm bouncing and rolling. Coming back to the conversation about soul contracts, and even feeling like I can't do this. I'd like to discontinue this contract. Why not all of us state this? I'm going to state this right now. we all want to live in an honest world. We all have to be okay to see ourselves and the truth of ourselves, which is very hard to do. And then when the mirror is before you and you see yourself for who you are, it's okay to forgive yourself. And if the world can't forgive you, then that's their lesson. It's not yours anymore, because you found the courage and the strength to be honest, to forgive yourself, and to choose to stand in the strong shoes of a truly noble person, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, an honest person. But let's state this, that our collective, I choose to live in a reality of honesty, and where the truth is going to and is and already has come out of the woodwork, where we can start accessing the truth. The truth. Not the media's version of the truth or what we need to hear and believe, but what is actually going on. What is really the truth? So that we can start to turn things in reverse and to welcome Ra to illuminate our planet, because we need it. We need the light to illuminate our world and the truth of what's going on in our world, so that we can start to live in the constructs of an honest world that encourages us to be honest people. Whether you're an ego-based representative of spiritual truth, that you could see more in that path, or that you can just continue to be yourself and be okay with the growth and the development of the souls around you, and to try not to judge them. You know what I mean? Just don't judge. All right. Did that come out right? I feel like I'm a skipping stone, a rolling bouncy ball. I'm waffling and wobbling between Ra and Keemstar and the soul contracts and this message and that message. All right. My feet are firmly planted on this beautiful earth, and I am safe on earth. And I welcome the infinite mirror and the illumination of the sun, and all of our friends in the interdimensional realms, our angels, our guides, our higher selves, Mother Earth, the stars, the universe. I welcome all that love into my heart. I welcome that love to be the light that illuminates me, to help me to see myself, and to help me find the strength to be the most honest person I can be, and to feel safe with my soul contracts, and to know that I am strong enough, and that when I'm weak, I can always open up to the light to help me to see myself, to nurture my wounds, to heal those parts of my soul that are coming up in these lessons, that are making these lessons so ridiculously hard, that I can heal those parts of my soul. And I accept time is a part of life here on earth, and that it takes time to self-realize. It takes time to grow. It takes time to understand. It takes patience. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this message, this multi-message. Thank you very much for the question about soul contracts. I'll be curious to see what you guys have to say about everything. I'm going to try to read as many comments as I can, and try to heart them so you guys know I got to read it, okay? It might be a few days. This is my goal, all right? We'll just see how it pans out, but I am really wanting to do this moving forward. So feel free to share your thoughts and experiences. I hope you enjoyed the messages from Keemstar or Keemster and Ra. Hope you enjoyed the little affirmations at the end and just letting the light in, letting the light support you, letting your energy friends, interdimensional friends, human friends, physical or spirit help you. Let Mother Earth help you. Feel yourself in this body, feel safe being here. State that I am safe. No matter where you live, no matter what you're going through, I am safe is such a powerful tool. I am enough is another one. I am safe and I am enough. And just continue to love yourself through everything you're going through. Okay. Thank you again for watching. If any of you are interested in working with me one-on-one for a psychic session, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I have other YouTube channels. I know I mentioned at the beginning, so you can check me out at Zodiac Energy Readings and Abbey Psychic Services. And I'm on Patreon at patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. Okay, have an amazing day, everybody.